Hello, hello. Welcome to our movie club, movie class. I don't know how to call it. So today we will speak about the movie Casablanca. It's pretty old movie. It's 1943, if I'm right, and it's pretty old-fashioned but interesting, I would say. And let's start from the story itself. Gerard, you just finished the movie. Can you start explaining the story, please?
The action happens in Casablanca. It's a village in Morocco, in French Morocco at this time. This place, it's a colony of France, and actually, but it's not occupied France because France, the country inside Europe, is occupied by the Nazis. And people come from Europe to go to America through Casablanca. They need to pay a lot of money to arrange papers and then go to Lisbon, and from Lisbon they go to America to escape from the Nazis. The protagonist is Rick, and the actor that plays him is Humphrey Bogart, and he owns a cafe. The cafe is the center, the meeting point of the city. Businesses, gamble, everything is done in this place. And this guy, Rick, had an affair with a woman, very beautiful woman, Ingrid Bergman, and his name in the movie is Elsa. And this romance was in Paris. It took place in Paris before the invasion of the Nazis. And they were in love, but she left him, and he didn't know that. He didn't know the reason at this time. Later, we found out that the reason was she thought that her husband was dead in a concentration camp, and the day she was about to live with Rick, she knew about that, and then chose going with her husband.
Yep. Okay. Let's stop here. Yeah, let's stop here for a bit. So the movie itself not about war, right? We don't see anything, but it's the time of the war. So France is occupied, and we always see some suspense about this. So some Nazi officers, some events from this, life, some leaders of how to call it, of rebellions, no. How we call it, leaders of groups that fought against Nazi in France.
Resistance,
yeah. Resistance. Leaders of resistance, and it's all happened in this place. But this place, it's looks pretty peaceful. People just gamble, drink, and what having fun. And this Rick, it's kind of controversial person, I would say. He just don't have any feelings, right? Just a machine. Just I'm here for money. That's all. You pay me, I provide you service. And later on, so the action of the movie is kind of slow. Nothing like happened. Some dialogues, but my impression that there are a lot of happened behind this dialogue. So you can like feel it. You cannot see it, but you can feel it. It's my impression. So, Vasans, would you like to add or continue?
Yes, where he stopped.
So we finished about Rick and his cafe in Casablanca.
Yeah, okay. And after some point, as the story goes by, one guy approached Rick for a favor because he had a letter which had some confidential matters about the war, the rebellion activities. So he approached Rick and asked him to keep that letter for some time because it is not safe to keep with himself. So Rick was a good businessman. He had a reputation, so nobody would suspect him. So he wanted to keep that letter with Rick. So Rick accepted that offer for one day, just for one day. In between that time, the new guy, the guy who gave letter to Rick got arrested for this rebellion activity. He was suspected of the rebellion activity, so the police arrested him for that letters. But the truth is, the letter was in Rick's custody. So Rick was holding that letter, and he can do that. He can do any trade with that letter because it was so much important to the government. So after that point, the leading lady comes. The Elsa comes to his cafe, and the love, the backstory of their love enlarges, or how to say that. They just showed us their backstory, their love affair in the past.
Yeah, but it started with a little bit suspense, yes, that there is some agent of this rebellion, some, I forgot his name, Blaskovich or something like this, Laskovich, some Slovakian name. And he's here with a beautiful woman, you know, the most beautiful woman of Casablanca. It's obvious, yeah. And when they meet, wow, it's Elsa. So how, yeah. And it started this story. They start to recall the story, yeah. So what is the story between them?
Yes, her husband was captivated in a concentration camp. They said a concentration camp. I think it's a military camp that held those criminals or the captivators. Then she thought, I think she might have thought that he died during that period. So she expressed her love towards Rick after that. Then they loved each other, and one fine day they decided to leave to Paris, I think, or something. But, so he said that he would wait in a railway station for her to pick her up along with him. So he was waiting, and his assistant, who is a piano player, also waiting for her. But later they found out she left a letter for him saying that she cannot go with him. And saying sorry at the end of the letter. So,
sorry for interrupting you, but I was about to ask you. You know, when this scene and another scenes happening in the movie, I noticed that they speak a very special language. It's a very formal, very with many, I know, very complicated language. You know, they speak like it's a written story. It's a story by Shakespeare or something. I cannot quote, recite it from my head, but it's something like, and when this poor guy was waiting for her under the rain, over the train, and she never arrived, something like this. So, did you notice it? It's yes, very poetic language. Yes, they speak like very how's it? It's not like a spoken language. It's like a written language, very formal, very poetic, very perfect grammar, long sentences. So it's like a written poem, very dramatic. Have you noticed it, or it's just my impression, Just?
I didn't notice that.
Oh, okay. Because I had to switch on subtitles for a moment because it's hard to follow the sentence for me. Vasants, please.
Yes, I noticed that too, and I told Jorgen yesterday that watching this movie was like watching a stage play. They expressed so much on their faces. So it is not as same as what we are seeing movies nowadays. So they just express so much when they sing or when they cry. It was a melodramatic. I liked it. It was a different experience.
Yeah, I found it, yes, very appealing, I would say. It's like old good times, without all this short phrases, short English phrases like, I gotta go. No, not like this. It was very interesting for me to hear. Jürgen, do you have some feelings about movie? Would you like to share something? Some sense, stories, anything?
I'm not a good teller. Like Vasant and Gerard.
Okay.
Sorry.
But did you enjoy the story? Did you understand it?
Yeah, most of it, yes.
Okay, nice. So Black Matter shared before in our chat that she cannot speak today, unfortunately. So we can only read from her. So Black Matter, please write. I will read if it's needed. Okay, sorry for interrupting you, but I could not help and not notice this special language in the movie, because it's probably the main reason why I have chosen this movie, because of the language. It's kind of good English source in my eyes. So, okay, so we know the plot about Casablanca. We know about this romantic story between Elsa and Rick. We know about this tough guy, Slovakian agent of... he's very important somehow. We don't know exactly, but he's very important. He's one of the leader of the resistance. And that's why Nazi made an order to local French government to keep him, to arrest him, I think. And it's an interesting plot inside the movie. So Nazi officers, they have some power, but it's not clear how. They just make orders for French government, and then French government sometimes do it, sometimes ignore it. So it's not... not so straightforward. Yes. So everyone play his own game. It's how it looks to me. So French plays their game, Nazi plays this game, this agent plays this game, and Rick plays this game. It's altogether it's kind of complicated. So what happened after this laser story, Gerard?
Ilsa's husband is Victor Laszlo. He's a sort of man that is in connection with all the resistance groups in Europe. So he's very important for the Nazis. And they want to have some papers to go to America. They are called letters of transit, something like this. And Rick has those letters. And there is a struggle, discussion between Rick and Elsa, because Rick keeps some resentment with Elsa because she left him and he didn't know why. But at the end, I think, Rick arranged the way that Victor and Elsa can escape from Casablanca. So they take the plane and go to Lisbon so that they can go to America. So Rick is a good guy.
Yeah, he kind of...
romantic.
Yeah, romantic. He convinced Elsa to go, but it was not the first plan. Yes, I kind of missed the whole point of this, but he deceived this agent and Lisa and saved them, and he confronted this Nazi officer with a gun. So probably he is in problem now. He has a lot of problem, I think. Probably will be dead after the plane.
No, I don't think so, because at the end, the French, the prefect covers him, and they say that's the beginning of a beautiful friendship. The last sentence. So they got on well. So I think the Rick is going to be okay.
Okay, and I like this line. It's the beginning of the beautiful friendship. Yeah, it was used after in some movies like. I forgot the director of the movies, Yugoslavian guy, but okay, I will write later when I remember. Vasant, please comment.
Yes, and we missed an interesting portion of this movie. Rick helped another man to how to say that, to go out of yes, because one beautiful girl approached him, Rick, and asked to help her because she and her husband were from some
Bulgaria.
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 Bulgaria. So they were, and it was not a good place to live. So they were planning to move to America. Now they are stuck in Casablanca. So she approached him to help her, and he said, "Not." He was like, he answered like he would not help her, something like that, with a careless attitude. And during their conversation, Rick said that Captain Renault, the French official, is a good guy. He will keep his promise at any cost. So here we can know that the French official, is a good guy, and Rick helped that the girl's husband during the gambling play by saying a particular number. Yes, like 22. Have you played?
Yeah, but
on
Rick
22?
is kind of controversial person, you know. When it's movie started, we see that he has no feeling, you know. He's just a stone, yes. Just he's managing the how to say the worst place in Casablanca, you know, all about hazard, casino, and so he must be tough. Must be tough as a stone, yeah, stiff guy. So he has no feeling, nothing. But when it comes to romantic story, you know, when it's when some lady asked him gently about, you know, please help us. Of course, there is your money. Please go. So we know his how it's from Greek mythology. It's like a Achilles uncle. No, teacherly, help us. How when the you know when the hero has a soft spot, some soft spot.
Oh, Achilles heel.
Achilles heel, yeah. So his Achilles heel, it seems for me, this romantic story, these girls, and probably a little bit of anti-Nazi resistance. Okay, so yes, Hans, please.
Yes, and another one funny portion where the two old couple, I mean elderly couple, were planning to move to America, and their English was so bad. Well, that was a good portion. The husband asked her like, "What watch?" Then she said, "I think 8 watch." I think she said, "It was a time." He should have asked what time. Then she should have said 8 o'clock or something. But their English were very poor. It was a fun moment.
Yeah. Some irony is this. Yeah. I think it's because of contrast. You know, overall English, it's unexpectedly well. You know, for Casablanca, which is French colony. You know, when people speak Arabic, but everyone speaks just a poetic English. So it's a contrast. Okay. Anything else? Any stories, sense? I don't know. Musics, plots. What we like, what we don't like in the movie. That's all, right?
Their tactic to divert the other people, to oversmart the enemies. Like one guy approached to the Elsa's husband, like, can you please take that ring for me? Can you sell it for me, like that? And he says, no, I'm not interested. Then he opens it with it has a symbol of French, the rebellion activity, I think. So they did some such interesting phrase.
Yes. Jürgen, please.
Yes, there is a famous line, play it again, Sam, but it doesn't appear in the movie. They only say play it, Sam. So I don't know where again is.
Play it again. But Sam, it's the one who play on piano, right, in the cafe. And it's another you know internal story because as we know at the end Rick sold this cafe right to some local guy, and but when he sold it, he make sure that all the people who work in cafe will have their places, will have their job, so nothing changed for them. So he looks like a tender guy, like gentle to this friends, maybe, I don't know. He does not treat them like a friends, like friends. But in the end, we found that he is worried about this. So another dissonance between tough guy and gentle, soft inside. Gerard?
Yes, it's curious, the relationship between Rick and Sam. It's like something between an employee, Sam, and a friend. Something in the middle between an employee and a friend, because Rick cares a lot about Sam, and we see that Sam was here with Rick when he was in Paris, and he escapes from Paris with him.
And I can remember another scene when Rick was very upset about something with Elsa, and he drinks during the whole night, and Sam stayed together and ask him, "Where are you going to sleep? Not today, not tomorrow. When?" So yeah. So yes, it's funny. So as I said before, this story, it's kind of interesting because we don't see much, but we can expect much behind. So we see all these innuendos and clues that there are a lot of story behind, but not in the cover, not in the movie.
And we can see a lot of alcohol in the movie. All the time they are drinking, smoking as well, but only men, not women. I didn't see any women.
Yeah, but 90% of the story is inside the restaurant. So inside the most the worst place in Casablanca, I think. When I say worst, it's not mean that it's poor thing. It's like how to say it? It's a place of hazard, place of when. Teacher, help me. So it's a place that attract all these people who has money, who has willing to spend their life actively. So like this.
A seedy place, kind of shady or illegal undercurrents.
Yeah, like this. Yeah. So it's a probably illegal casino, because when we can understand that it's kind of illegal, because when Rick was did something against French officer, they immediately shut down the place. Just it's closed. Gerard?
One thing that strikes me is the name of the city, Casablanca. Casablanca is a Spanish word that means White House. Why they call White House in Arabic? Or, they have their own language. So why do they use this word?
Well, I don't know exactly, but I know this story about North Africa. It's very complicated. It was a Spanish colony, then French colony. That's all together. For instance, Tangier. Yeah, Tangier has a lot of streets that name it in French, in French and in Spain, and was it like international divided town between French and Spain. Probably the same in Casablanca. Because of these tensions. I don't know, because this history. Yeah, so coffee probably was not white, actually. But in general, in Morocco, in Arabic countries, I noticed that they like white color. So it's always white. But it's interesting that some towns, for instance, Chefchaouen is a famous town. It's blue town. So what is special about Chefchaouen? Nothing. It's just blue. The rest of Morocco is white. This one is blue, so it's interesting. But I think that Israel is white, also probably Palestine, black mud. Please correct me. But I think it's just because of climate. Because white, it's good to reflect the sun, the heat. So it's just a utilitarian goal, not something about
aesthetic.
Yeah, aesthetic, not something about aesthetic. Yeah, just physics.
So are you saying the cafe was not white?
Maybe. Probably we see the cafe mostly inside, and it's the evening in the movie. I cannot remember.
Hard to say. Okay.
Probably it's white. I would not be surprised. Okay, speaking about how it looks, we have slides by courtesy of Sans. And I'm going to share them so we can try to describe something. Okay, present to everyone. I hope you can see. So Casablanca. Casa is house and Blanca is white. Yes. Okay, let me start. It's like this cafe, and movie is black and white. I just noticed it. And and another point that we forget, that movie was filmed in 1943. So the war is not ended. We don't know how it will be ended. So when this scenery, this plot is done, so it's not clear what will happen with this Nazi things and so on, and it adds something to story in my opinion. And Sam is black, right? Because he's from America with Rick. As far as I remember, it's only 2 Americans in the movie, and 2, very, how to say it, very they're the gist of the story. So it's the story around Americans, not about something else. So we can see some French officers inside, and some guy whose head, I would say, something like Turkey or Arab style, something like this.
I think we call that a fez, F-E-Z, fez.
Fez, yes.
Looks like a can.
Yes. In Russian we call it feska, but probably it's the same. Feska, yes, probably the same.
Okay.
So pretty formal suit for Sam, I would say. Probably old-fashioned.
Bow tie. Yeah.
Yeah, bow tie, yes, and like a real musician, not a fake one. So what else? We can see some ladies inside. Tarbosh. What is Tarbosh? It's this hat. This is the name. Yes. Okay. Tarbosh. Okay. never heard this. Okay, and we can see, teacher Lee, that probably the cafe is white inside. It's this picture. At least no drawing, no painting, nothing. No wallpaper. Yes, arches.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, this kind of chairs made of wood. How we call them? I forgot.
Yeah, just ornamental or decorative chairs.
Yeah, and piano, and that's all I think. What else? Okay, let's go to another one. Chart. Who are these people? What they doing?
This is Rick. On the left side, we have Rick. On the other side, we have a guy that has the letters of transit. That he asked Rick to keep them. I think these letters are meant to be delivered to Elsa and Laszlo, so they can leave Casablanca to Lisbon.
I'm not sure, but it seems for me that it's kind of additional business for Rick to make these letters of transit or something, because people went to him and ask for these letters. So how he do it, I don't understand. But they ask him for this letter. So probably he corrupted someone in French administration or something like this. So it looks like a guy who knows a guy where you go when you have a problem. That's why I say it's like shady cardinal.
Yeah.
Something like this. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Rick likes to show off that he's neutral, so everybody can do businesses with him.
Yes, but it's not real, right? We can see that he is anti-Nazi guy. He helps.
Has some sides, yes.
Yes,
He's
a
like
good guy. He's American, you know. Chandler. We have a comment. Chandler. So what is special about Chandler?
Chandelier.
Chandelier.
That's the big fancy light that hangs from the ceiling.
Ah, okay. I was thinking that chandelier is a thing that stay on the table with these candles.
Also,
No, that's different. Yeah.
okay.
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 because we have a lot of joke about this chandelier when we play poker. We say that it's your last weapon or something when you're going to lose. Okay, next picture. Wow, some action. Jürgen, please describe it.
Yes. He tries to escape the police, and I think he shot one man, and but he is pretty soon they take him.
Yes, he was asking Rick for help. Like, I forgot exactly. Like, where is the help me escape? But Rick said, "No, I'm neutral. I'm not going to help everyone. And don't be fools. They will catch you. Okay, so candelabra. How it's pronounced usually?
Candelabra, yeah.
Candelabra. So candelabra is this thing on the table, right? This light.
Some chandeliers look like mini candles hanging. Have you ever seen the movies where the big light in the middle of the room falls down and crashes on the floor? That's the chandelier. It's a big light that's heavy, hangs from the ceiling and falls on people.
Okay, so pretty common in theater, in opera, right? In big halls.
Right. Fancy.
Fancy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What else about this? Vasans? No? Nothing to it? Okay, another one. Wow. Vasans, please describe it.
So this is Elsa and her husband. They arrived for the first time to Rick's bar, Rick's cafe, and she was telling that we should get out right now because everybody is looking at us. And he said, if we get out as sooner, then they will suspect us more than that. So they were talking with each other, and this is where the French official and Rick had a meetup with them. Yeah, and there is a table lamp and some decorative plants in a pot and a small size of chandelier.
Right. A small portion of it, right? And I would say this is a shady lamp, no, on the table. How?
Yeah, we call it a lampshade.
Lampshade. Okay.
Table lamp with a lampshade.
Okay, lampshade. So where is gloves, Black Manta? Where is the gloves?
That's the pin on the chest. Brooch.
Brooch. Okay, so it's the most beautiful lady in Casablanca. It was said in the movie. And
Perfect skin.
And we discussed it in our chat, but I forgot she's Swedish, right? By origin, Irgin.
In real life, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so nothing more, I think. Okay, let me try. So it's almost the same. So this lampshade, this lady, but this time with Rick. And I forgot who is this guy, probably waiter. I'm not sure. Something else. What we can see, yes, please.
Actually, this is the guy who is asking for a change, the ring.
Okay. Okay. I see.
Change the ring? What's he trying to do?
He was showing his ring as for a business exchange. It looked like a business exchange, but he was trying to talk with him, and he was trying to give a hint that he is one of his crew. So with a symbol on his ring, without noticing, without let the policeman noticing their activity.
Okay.
So secret operation in action, I would say.
Secret, we call it the secret code ring.
Okay, and I like this decoration behind the lady. Some wall, but it's not a wall. It's like you can look through it, and some kind of I don't know how to describe it. It's can you
There's
see?
a wind on the right. It's that blind. Those look like window blinds.
Yeah, looks interesting.
Yeah.
Window blinds. Yeah. Okay, next one. I would say it's the same, but with Sam. Let's skip it. Okay, something interesting. So, Gerard, please.
We can see the prefect, Rick and Laszlo and Elsa. I don't know what they're talking about here. Then the table, the same table. All the tables look alike. A small round table with a shade lamp in the middle, and also drinks. Always drinks. I don't know what moment of the movie it is.
Probably just an introduction of this French officer to the lady, I think, but I'm not sure else. But I you know what is interesting in this scene? I think we can describe this formal suit of French officer, because I can see many details that I don't know how to name. Teacher Lee, can you help us with this mundir? No, with this suit.
Well, his collar has rank insignia. On his collar. He also has some kind of a patch on his sleeve. He's wearing medals on his chest. We call those medals for military campaigns or some special achievements. And he's got a belt, of course, maybe a holster belt, I'm not sure, and a strap. I'm not sure what the strap is for.
Probably for his gun, no?
It might be. So some kind of a strap, a belt, maybe for a gun holster, medals.
Okay, but we know that he is not a like army officer. He's just not a military. He's just a gendarme, so it's a police.
Police, right? Okay.
But these medals give us a clue that he probably ex-military or something like this, because I think it's not typical for policemen to have medals. Yes, gendarme. Yes.
Yes, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Bakhmata asked us for hairstyle. Do we like it or no? Well, I would say that I have almost the same hairstyle, so yes, I like it.
Me too.
Kind of, I guess, combed back, I guess.
Combed back
hairstyle.
But so comb is it's a word for this tool, right?
Yeah.
But B is silent. No, B. Comb.
Right, comb. Yeah.
Comb back style, hairstyle, comb back hairstyle. Comb. Okay, Blackmata asked us to check hairstyle for women also, but there are only one woman in the movie. Woman.
No,
yeah. I would just say wavy hair.
Okay, wavy. Okay, wave. Okay.
Wave.
Okay. Oh, I pressed. Okay, so it's the sense that I described it before. It's it's a Rick, very upset during the night. He's drinking and probably crying inside, not outside, because he's a tough guy. But he's crying inside and he is not happy. Drink glass by glass. And Sam, is it the line played again? Sam from here, Jürgen? No.
From some Bogart movie. I don't know if it's this one or not.
Okay, and at this moment, Sam is very worried about him. So, please, please, let's go to sleep. When you are going to go to sleep, something like this. Okay, but this tough guy never goes to sleep. What is interesting? What is interesting is that I would expect from a casino, from a nightclub, that it will work at night. But we can see that no, it works at the evening, but at the night it's only for Rick. Rick, Sam playing, Rick drinking, nothing happen, no guests. Okay, what else? The decoration is almost the same. Okay, bottle is big. So enough for a night long. That's all. I don't know what else.
Looks like the piano has flower decorations, flower carvings, or flower pictures.
And wheels. The piano. You can move the piano easily.
Okay.
Yep. Wheels.
Sometimes we'll say he's drowning his sorrows. Drowning his sorrows in a bottle. Okay. Or drinking his troubles away.
Very interesting. Drowning his sorrows. Okay. Basans, do you remember this scene, please?
Yes, it was during their as he was sobering and drinking in that night. He went back to the old days with Elsa, and then she moved back. We moved back to their flashback. They were together and reading local newspaper about the war and other things going on in their country, and this is an initiating point to decide to get her with him out of the country. So yeah, they were reading a local newspaper, and there was a glass of champagne.
And behind them I can read Liqueurs de Marque. Liqueurs, it's kind of alcohol. Marque, I have no idea.
Brand. Marque, I mean, a brand.
Probably. Yes? George, you have a question?
Yeah, it's curious that they are in Paris and the newspaper is in English. I don't know if it was that normal at this time.
Probably not. I would say that
it's the newspaper of the day,
Yep.
So it couldn't be from England.
Yeah, and I clearly can read play open, tourney. Yeah, so it's English. Yeah, it's English. Well, so it's Parish, so it's a French occupied by German Nazi, and they newspapers still in English. Just to be plausible for Gollywood. Okay, so they both very well dressed. Yeah, dressed. He has this. Tichelin noticed that before. This tissue
brooch
behind below the brooch. It's tissue. How you call it? White tissue.
Oh, we call it a handkerchief.
Handkerchief. Yes, but it looks like a German word to me. Handkerchief, not like English one.
we pronounce it handkerchief. Handkerchief. We kind of don't say hand. Handkerchief, yeah.
Handkerchief.
It's for wiping the nose, or we give it to ladies when they cry.
Yeah. And we all know that lady of high society, they are supposed to cry, every 5 minutes. Yes? So you need this handkerchief. And I like this beret of the. Can I say it? Beret or the hat of the beret? Okay, I like it. With this, I would say, yes, stick. How's it called? This
kind of cute, yeah.
But how would you call this part in the center?
A stem, I guess. I don't know. Silly looking. I don't like it.
That is very old-fashioned. I would be very surprised if I see it nowadays.
Little weird.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like she painted her nails. Her nails appear to be clear.
Yep.
No nail polish. Okay, so very serious lady, maybe.
She's the wife of the leader of the rebellion. No time for trifles.
And she's got the shoulders are kind of there's a name for those kind of shoulders on women's dresses. They kind of fluff up a little bit. I don't know what the name is, but her shoulder style is kind of old-fashioned.
So kind of fake big shoulders, yeah?
A little bit. They kind of, go up before they go down. They're not round, they maybe square shoulders, not quite, but similar.
Shoulder pad?
Shoulder pads, yeah. So maybe I'll just say it has square shoulder pads to give it more of a horizontal look. But that's an old style, yeah.
Yeah, but still pretty elegant, to me. In my eyes, it looks better than many modern styles like hippie or something like this.
Now, if you look at his suit has very faint lines on it. We call those pinstripes.
Pinstripes.
So he's wearing a pinstripe suit. I don't know why we call them pinstripes.
Okay, nice one.
The window has curtains, chest-high curtains, I'd call it. So the curtains give you a little privacy for the people sitting inside, but light can come in. So they're kind of a privacy curtain for the sitting patrons, I would say.
Yep. And also part of the decoration, right?
Yeah.
Can be fancy. Sometimes it has drawing or something.
And she's also wearing a kerchief on her neck. Kerchief.
Yeah.
We call it a handkerchief. Yeah.
I checked the word in English. Kerchief.
Around her neck, you mean? Yes.
Yes.
Oh, her, you mean?
Yeah. Around her neck, he has some tissue.
Some kerchief. Is it right? This word? Sort of a scarf.
Kerchief. You mean? Yeah, maybe that's okay. A kerchief is kind of like a scarf, but smaller, maybe smaller.
Okay, let's go to another one. So I can see a soldier behind them, probably, or some fireman, but probably a soldier because of strange back on the belt on the back. Yeah.
Maybe ammunition.
Yeah, ammunition or something. And it's raining cat and dogs, but I know it's old fashioned to say so. What is the modern way? It's heavy rain, right? Just a heavy rain.
Yeah. But if you say raining cats and dogs, we still use that term today.
Okay. So they both have these fedora hats with like protector. How to say it? Like a circle of Pluton. Yeah. It protects you from sun and rain and all those things.
Right. We call that part the brim.
Brim. Okay.
That's an old style. In the old days, everyone wore them. Today, nobody wears them.
Yeah, I guess why. So, what else? They having discussion, something important, I would say, based on their facial expression. And when we can see behind them the table, depart, 7 something.
7 hours.
7 hours. So probably it's a train station, yeah.
Train station, maybe.
Yeah. So it's okay. So probably it's that train station where he was waiting for Eliza, Elsa. Yeah. I don't know what Sam is doing here, but
okay. They went together.
Okay. So it's that time. Probably they have a discussion. Let's wait a little bit more. No, she will never arrive. Just go. Let's go. Something like this. I forgot this name. Okay, Sam Scholar, turn it up, teacher Lee. wrote this in the chat. Yeah, because of the rain, right?
And in winter time, we'll turn the collar up to protect our neck. Yeah.
Yep. He got completely soaked. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, because it's wet under the rain, I would say. drenched in rain. Wow, we have a good synonyms today. So wet, soaking, soaked, drenched.
Drenched. Yep.
Okay, what else? That's all I would say. Okay, nice one. Vasants, would you like to read or to explain us what is this?
Yes, this is the letter Elsa wrote for Rick, and as he reads that letter, the ink was dissolving in rainwater as his heart was dissolving in sorrow. So it says that she cannot move with him, and yeah, and she said she loves him.
Okay, we can and we can read, right? I cannot go with you or ever see you again. You
must.
You must not ask why. Just believe that I love you.
Go, my darling.
And God bless you. Wow. Nice.
How beautiful.
Yeah, how beautiful. And we can see that this paper is crying, right? We cry, Richard cries, and this paper cries.
And we cry also.
You say the ink is running. The ink is running.
Yeah. And I see this lady. She visited calligraphy lessons, right, in her school, because it's
the capital G looks strange, but that's how a capital G.
Yeah.
In script. Yeah.
So we call it cursive, right, or script.
Cursive or script. Yeah. Nice. We don't even teach that in school anymore, I'm told. We don't teach script and cursive writing in school anymore, so you'll never see that again. Yes,
that's why I like it. I'm getting lessons of cursive now, because I like to do it. But as I heard that we don't have it in school now as well. So because there are research, and it says that for children it's easy to type the text than write it. So it's faster, it's less mistakes. Still weird, I would say, but let's see.
You'll see the capital J on gist.
Yeah, very strange.
Is another strange capital letter. G and J and I. Yeah. The I is also strange.
English cursive, it has a special name. I forgot it now. Special name for this font.
We just call it cursive.
Cursive, okay.
Yeah, just
probably
cursive or script. Yeah. Cursive writing. Cursive means it runs. It's smooth. It doesn't stop.
But it's like in Arabic, all the letters are connected. You have to make it like in one strich. How to say it? One motion of your pen. Yeah.
Right. Okay. A continuous stroke, I guess.
Okay, so that's enough, I think, for